Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So my name's Katie and today we're going to be doing a very exciting video. So there is nothing that brings me more like joy and vindication than watching like SFF dude bros, who are like the worst kind of people, get annoyed at Rhythm of War for its kind of themes and the stuff that it like explores and its kind of lack of action. So today we're going to be looking at 1-star reviews of Rhythm of War and maybe getting a bit ranty because it's something I get very passionate about. So yeah, so obviously if you don't like Rhythm of War, that's totally fair and all opinions are valid. This is really just for a bit of fun. And also, yeah, I feel like if people don't like The Way of Kings, then that's like fine, because obviously it's like not this book for them or the like series for them, because obviously it's not to everyone's tastes. I feel like I get more upset when people like don't like the later books in the series, like Rhythm of War, because I don't know, I just feel like, yeah, people want the series to be stagnant, but it's not, and it's changing, and I think it's changing in really good ways, and I like all the exploration of mental health and stuff. So yeah, I'm the first one to leap to Rhythm of War's defense. But anyway, so we're going to be looking at some 1-star reviews, so hopefully this should be entertaining, because I already have a 1-star review for Way of Kings. And that video was so fun to film, and it was so funny. Like, some of the reviews were really funny, but I think this one might be a bit different because obviously it's people who've like already read quite a bit of the series, because like you wouldn't read the 4th book in a series if you hadn't liked the first 3. So maybe we'll get some different opinions. And yes, just all the dude bros with their bad takes. I really want to do a video where I like troll people on Reddit. I think that would be so funny. Okay, so I was worried it had no 1-star reviews, but actually it does. It's just 0% because that's like a negligible percentage apparently, so that's good. But I still need to work out how to like get hold of the rating details. Technology is failing me. Goodreads is such a horror show. Right, so now we're on the reviews. So more filters. There we go. 1 star. We made it. Okay, so the first one. So this is from a dude called Logan, who looks very like, not to judge people by their appearance, but yeah. So it says, not a fan, failed to develop or even carry forward the emotional connection I had for earlier books. So we're starting on a banger, because this is the thing that annoys me most when people talk about Rhythm of War, saying it had like no emotional stakes or no emotional like connection, and I just don't understand. Like, I get what they're saying in terms of stakes, in terms of like character deaths, like you don't always fear that the characters are gonna die, but I mean personally that's not an issue I have. I like it when characters survive, but I don't think that is not the same thing as emotional stakes, because like emotional stakes are kind of, yeah, like the character's emotions and how it makes you feel. And like, so this is going to be spoilery, by the way, so if you're interested in reading Rhythm of War, maybe don't watch this. But like, it annoys me so much when people say like, oh, Kaladin's arc had no emotional stakes, and like, I'm sorry, but it was him like literally committing suicide not emotional enough? And when he like just giving him a bit more time and then him saving himself, and oh, and like people have said that they would have rather he died in that scene, and that's just wrong on so many levels, and it would have been a terrible choice. And just the kind of, yeah, the impact that would have had on people, because I've seen like reviews, and or maybe not reviews, but like, I don't know what the right term is, but like people who've said that like the journey of Kaladin and stuff has literally saved their lives, and his arc means so much to so many people, and if it'd been written that he then did that could have damaged like so many people, and just, yeah. And like, that's not the only outcome, like there is always hope, and that is a big theme of the books. Like, I feel people just fundamentally miss the point. It's like journey before destination, so like the outcome doesn't really matter, it's kind of how the character got there. And just the fact that like when Kaladin's right on the edge and then he just has this tiny last shred of hope, and that's just so emotional to me, and just, yeah. So I do not agree at all with the like lack of emotional stakes. I think that's like fair enough if you like don't like the characters or whatever, but I think that's not a valid criticism, like lack of emotional stakes. Okay, pacing was whack. Characters were separated, and actual interaction between all previous book POV characters was sorely missed. So I agree about sometimes I did miss like interactions, say between Kaladin, Shallan and Adeline. But I think if they were all together always, it would kind of get a bit boring. I don't know, I like it when characters are a bit separated because you get a chance to explore like new character interactions, like Kaladin and Navani. I like seeing them interact, and just I think the separation was important for some characters, especially like Navani, just so they could kind of become themselves. I'm a big fan of the tower scene, well, not scene, storyline thing. Ugh, my brain's not working this morning. Yeah, but I don't agree about the pacing. I think it was really well paced. So, random king preaching morality to a storm. Like, I get the entire family is brilliant and powerful, but this is ridiculous. Stakes felt very low. Okay, so we're not even going to get into the wormhole that is Dalinar and his morality, but Dalinar does definitely live on a high horse. But yeah, he's not my favourite character. I think he's degrown on me. Is that a word? Regressed? I don't know. But I don't think the thing is about the stakes. I think the stakes are quite high, especially in terms of like implications for later books. And I think the thing about Rhythm of War, it's a different kind of stakes. It's like more kind of ominous, like delayed stakes, rather than like there and then this character's got a knife to their throat type stakes. And the thing with the science as well, it's like the implications of that rather than the actual kind of there and then like gratification stakes. I don't know if that made any sense. Okay, then this one is talking about how Raboniel is as one of the main antagonist characters. We don't agree. Raboniel is not an antagonist. She is the new protagonist of the Stormlight Archive. She deserves her own spin-off. She deserves her own country. She deserves her own crown. Ugh. Yeah. Any criticism of Raboniel? No. It says she makes a mistake that lets another character run a coup as a prisoner. I don't know. Was it a mistake? Because do we really know Raboniel's motivations? Maybe it was intentional. Okay, that's one. By far my favourite character is the main antagonist because you might actually succeed in destroying the world. I wish him luck. Aww. To be fair, I do quite like Odium. I have been known for some Odium thirst tweets. Okay, then this next one is talking about how you needing to be aware of the greater Cosmere for its overall impact. So I do think that's a fair criticism. Like, it does kind of bring in some other books, but like, yeah, I guess for the stakes kind of, but I don't know, I feel like it is still focused on the like Stormlight characters, but I feel like that's fair-ish. But then if you're not interested in that, then you won't pick up on those details. So I don't know, I like it when there's lots of connections and then characters like pop up. Okay, so then it's comparing it to Wheel of Time. That's oh, the Wheel of Time. I will get through that eventually. Okay, so this person is like complaining about the references and stuff, but then they're saying they have read it all. So like, why is that a complaint for you? You're just concerned about other people having not read the Cosmere. And to be honest, if you like the Stormlight Archive enough to like want to read it all and stuff, you're probably going to be interested in the rest of the Cosmere anyway. So I don't know. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, okay. There are some other flaws to the book, like letting real life politics bleed into the book, forgetting to transform them into the parallel structures created in the book. Sorry, but fiction does reflect real life, and that's kind of an important issue to discuss. Oh yeah, that's another whole can of worms, like the dude bros not liking the listeners, and the elite, they're the colonizers, they're the kind of almost the evil ones actually, and the listeners, they're like so interesting to read about, and they're some of my favourite bits of Rhythm of War as well. And so I don't like it when people don't like the listeners. We should really go on Reddit actually. We'll go on there next. Okay, yeah, so it's talking about human races instead of nations and eye colour. So yeah, I think this guy is saying, yeah, it's just so yeah, so the main conflict is now kind of becoming between like the fused Parshendi and the humans, who are all kind of banded together, and that's more relevant than like inter-country conflicts. Men. Okay, that was, yeah. If you're a man and you have good opinions, you're valid. Oh no. Okay, this person is really just showing their true colours. Like, okay, there's also an entity that keeps being referred to in plural, which doesn't make any sense as far as I can tell. So my understanding of that is they're talking about the sibling who uses non-binary pronouns, and that is not plural, that is, so it's they, but yeah, this person is just, it started off fair and went downhill rapidly. Okay, next person doesn't even have a photo. Yeah, that one's just saying it's disappointing, not giving any validation. Okay, oh dear. We've got another bad take. Okay, so this person is like, it looks like a lot of paid reviews here, but this is a very real review from a person who's read the saga and is very disappointed with this book. Oh dear. I'd be interested to like go back and see what these people thought of Oathbringer. That would be interesting. Okay, so the first point, well, it's actually the second, but the first point is not really. So almost everyone who has a decent plot to pay has mental illness. That's like a huge overarching feature of the series. Like, if you don't like reading about mental illness, and also if you read the first 3 books and somehow thought that there was no mental illness rep in those, then what are your reading comprehension skills? But no, yeah, that's one of the things I love about the series actually, and I think one reason I love Rhythm of War so much was Kaladin's arc and his like depression, and even though he didn't have a huge amount of other kind of, but he did do other things, but also just watching his journey through depression like meant so much to me, and that was like entertaining enough for me. But yeah, I don't think that's a criticism. Like, loads of people have mental illness and it's good to have that representation and just showing that people with mental illness can still do all these things and can still like save the world and be a hero and that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't like that criticism. Okay. Not a single person in this gigantic book is happy. Is that really the criticism you're gonna go for? I mean, obviously I would love to see all the characters happy, but also Adeline, I swear he's like a little ray of sunshine. So yeah. No human can be so unhappy and live life. Some of the great characters are reduced to nothing. Okay, so he's obviously talking about Dalinar. So I think we've got to the root of the issue here. This guy's just pissed off there wasn't enough Dalinar. But also Dalinar has a lot of mental health problems. The author decided to fill some pages and added interludes, which is super boring. The interludes in Rhythm of War are the shortest interludes of any Stormlight book. So if like as he said at the beginning, he likes the saga, why is the interlude a criticism? Because they're in literally every book. I think the book where they're the most jarring is The Way of Kings, because you're just following like completely characters that you don't know about, whereas the interludes in Rhythm of War, you're following kind of characters that you know, and it's just adding a bit more to the story. Stay away from this book unless you want to feel sad and depressed. Okay, that's fair. Okay, so this one is just saying it's too hard to remember from prior books. It's a massive, like, fantasy series. I think you're gonna find that. But actually he does have a fair thing at the end that the author needs to, like, do some... It would be good if they had, like, a recap at the beginning. I do think more books need to do that. Okay, so this last one is long, boring, and depressing, but I'm still gonna read the next book in the series. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. So let's read some 2-star reviews. I know that's technically cheating, but who cares? Okay, so this one is the only character I really enjoyed reading about was Lift, so very little from her. Oh, that's kind of cute. There wasn't a huge amount of Lift, but also I feel like Lift, I like Lift as a character, but I feel like she's a character that you like is good in small doses, but like if the whole book was about her, I'm not sure. And then another person saying those annoying listener flashbacks. they're like getting to know more about the listeners, and I think the listeners are like, they're almost the good guys, kind of, ignoring my thirsting for the fused, but the actual listeners like Venili and Relaine, I can never say his name, but they're such interesting characters, especially Venili. She's like so morally grey, but also she just wants what's best for like her people, and oh, I love Venili and I love Rain, and I just want them all to be happy. But yeah, no, I think their storyline is probably one of the most interesting storylines in the whole thing. The flashbacks, there wasn't even that many flashbacks, and they were so cute, but also a bit heartbreaking, which I get what that was saying about if you want to be sad and depressed to read the book. So this one is saying Navani has some big stuff happening, especially near the end, but she lacks personality. And Navani's arc is so beautiful. Like, she's realising that she can be a person, like, for herself, and she doesn't have to be who she is to other people. And I feel like that's the thing a lot of women, like, I don't know, struggle with, especially older women, and just, like, that journey of kind of self-discovery, and, like, and she's kind of been emotionally abused, and she's been, like, lessoned, and she's kind of internalised that herself, and her just realising that she is a scholar and she can do these things. And when Ramoniel says, oh, if anyone's a scholar, it's you, or something along those lines. Oh. Okay, this next one is like going through the like different characters. So Venili's flashback chapters don't add anything new. So I agree in part that they don't really add anything new to like the kind of overall scope of the world, but I think they give you a good insight into like Venili's character and how she's kind of progressing over time, and also her relationship with Eshonai and her relationship with her mother, because that made me cry a bit. Okay, excruciating details provided about stormlight physics during Navani's countless scientific experiments. That's also fair. Like, fair enough if you don't like that, but I like the science. But yeah, that was fair. Adeline stands a pointless trial. Oh, Adeline. I feel like that's kind of slightly fair, but also I feel like it led to like them kind of making discoveries, and Adeline, it just fits his character, like getting himself embroiled in this trial. Lift is annoying. Oh. Dalinar is Dalinar, I always say Dalinar is overpowered and there is no danger anymore. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think Dalinar is going to be, like, in the next book, that's where the danger is going to kind of come in, because like the implications of Taravangian now being odium and like being unleashed, I think is really like powerful. Kaladin is still depressed. I mean, that's fair, but also depression doesn't just like magically go away, so I think Kaladin's always going to be depressed, but that's the reason I love him. So okay, what even was this? I get the pandemic got us all down, Pub, but are you feeling okay? Oh. That was quite funny. A whole lot of what I didn't want and only sad or stupid versions of what I did. Oh. Okay, a lot of people are like, I'm not finding myself feeling any tension or worry for the characters. So I think that's kind of, yeah, there's not a lot of like really kind of, I think I said this already, like stakes, like kind of characters are gonna die, like stakes, but I think there are a lot of emotional stakes, and especially with Kaladin and his happiness. And then I think the stakes are more kind of the overall impact of like the world. Yeah, so then one of the main characters spends an excruciating amount of time moving through a very predictable plot points, but end up exactly where we know they're heading to. But I mean, like, we all know that Kaladin's going to swear the fourth ideal, but that's not the point. It's like his journey to get there, which was so emotional and intense. And also, if I already went on a whole rant about if he died, but I saw this comment which was like, if things aren't predictable, then you end up with the mess that was Game of Thrones season 8. And I think that's so true. Like, sometimes it's good to subvert kind of expectations and stuff, but also sometimes if you just bring something completely out of left field and it doesn't make any sense for like the world building or the kind of foreshadowing, then it's so unsatisfying. And I think that's what Game of Thrones tried to do. They forgot they were like a fantasy series where there's lots of kind of plot build up and political kind of build up, and they just started doing things to like just for shock value, and like they started having all these big like battle scenes with no kind. I feel like battle scenes in fantasy only work and are satisfying when there's lots of kind of political build up to them. And I think, yeah, Game of Thrones just sort of went on the like the kind of, they wanted their big battle scenes for like cinematic value, I guess, but there was no kind of build up, so it lost its impact. And I think that's the same thing if you just throw something that's completely unpredictable. It's just, I don't know, I quite like predictability sometimes, and I think especially Sanderson, he does a lot of foreshadowing, so people make a lot of theories, and then just because those theories then prove true doesn't mean it's bad. I don't know, like the whole Adeline going evil thing, I just feel like that wouldn't make sense for his character. I don't know. I know a lot of people wanted that, but also, yeah, he's my comfort character, so like I can't deal with him going evil. Okay, so we're gonna go on to Reddit now. This is potentially dangerous. Okay, full book discussion mega thread. Let's go on there. Yeah, I'm really tempted to do a post like, does anyone else wonder why I need to leave Dalinar and end up with Raboniel? Well, how do I get onto it? It's just linking me to the same place. I don't know how Reddit works. Oh. Okay, someone not liking the flashbacks. That's not surprising. Oh, yes, this person has taste. Journey before destination, you bastard. As their favourite line. That is, in my opinion, the best line. Just the like, the build-up and the kind of implications for the character and all. Oh, no. Who would have thought Reddit would make me cry? This isn't like a bad review, but this person says, I feel bad saying this, but part of me wishes Kaladin Hunt said the fourth ideal. I understand why it had to happen and I'm incredibly proud of him, but I always felt a kinship with him and his anxieties with letting things go. I almost feel like he's grown past me now. Oh. I want to give Tranquil Burrito a hug. And then this person replies, I have a feeling he will always struggle with it. Just because he understands it doesn't mean it will be easy. And then Tranquil Burrito says that's actually pretty comforting. Maybe Reddit's redeeming itself. Okay, then this might be a bit hard to do this on Reddit, because like, I feel like it's gonna, I don't know how people like find things. I always see them on Twitter. But I've seen, the worst thing I've seen, I think, is people shipping like certain characters. Okay, I think we're gonna leave it there actually. Now that Reddit's made me cry, because I'm just gonna be scrolling forever, and also this video is getting quite long already. But this was fun. I hope if you are also a fan of Rhythm Before like me, you enjoyed this video. And yeah, please leave any comments you have in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I hope you're all having a great day, and I will see you next time.